Welcome back. Suppose we want to construct a graph of an equation. Well, before we can graph an equation, we need to actually get some points for our graph, some x and y coordinate points. So let's take an example of how we get these points. Here we have an equation, y equals 1/2 x minus 5. And I want to fill out this table for this equation. The table has some x values given, -2, 0, those are x values. We need to find the y values, and then it gives a y value of 0, we need to find the x value. So let's start with the first value of x, let x equal -2. So if x is -2, we're going to plug that into my equation here for x. So we'll have y equal 1/2 times -2 minus 5. Well, 1/2 times -2 is -1. So y equals -1 minus 5. And -1 minus 5, or -1 minus 5, gives you -6. So that's our first point that goes in our table, that if x is -2, y is -6. Let's do the next point. If x is now 0, if x is 0, so we plug that into our equation, we get y equals 1/2 times 0 minus 5. Anything times 0 is 0, so we get y equals 0 minus 5. And 0 minus 5 gives you -5. So if x is 0, y is -5. Finally, if y is 0, so if y is 0, we have to plug 0 in for y. So if we plug 0 in for y, we get 0 equal 1/2 x minus 5. Now we have to figure out x. Well, to solve this equation for x, we need to move the 5 over. I'll add 5 to both sides. So we add 5 to both sides. So we get 5 equals 1/2 x. And then we multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the half. So x will equal to, if we multiply 5 times 2, it gives you 10. So x is equal to 10. So if y is 0, x is 10. Now we can plot this on the xy coordinate plane. So to plot this on the xy coordinate plane, we take the point -2, -6, -2, -6, which is about here. And the next point is 0, -5, 0, -5, which is here. And the last point is 10, 0, 10, 0, which is here. Those are the 3 points. And then we join up the dots with a line like this. Notice this point here, 0, -5, is actually the y-intercept. And this point here, 10, 0, is the x-intercept. And we'll talk more about those later. So here's a graph of our equation, y equals 1/2 x minus 5.